It was this tournament that started it all. The Jacksonville Storm softball team beat the Scrapyard Internationals in Texas back on July the 13th. But after that win, the Storm's head coach and Clay County Superintendent Addison Davis confessed to having two overage players. The team was stripped of its title.
And now a local mother claims that she is being targeted for sharing that information. First Coast News' Bethany Anderson has the exclusive interview tonight.
That brought up some concerns for me. Cheating.
And you posted that on your Facebook page.
Right, my personal Facebook page.
Leanne Lunsford is talking about this article she posted on Facebook back on July 14th. The story details how Jacksonville Storm coach and Clay County Superintendent Addison Davis admitted to having overage softball players. The measure cost his team their winning title back in July. Lunsford says cyber attacks started immediately.
Telling me that if I didn't take it down, they would make a page to cyber bash me. They were posting traffic citations when I was 19 years old.
She filed a report with the Clay County Sheriff's Office requesting an investigation after receiving multiple phone calls from Addison himself.
Very aggressive, talked over me. I didn't get a word in edgewise, would not let me tell him this is not school related. I didn't need the phone call. It was very threatening.
In the report, Addison told investigators he would not give a sworn or written statement because the investigation was not criminal. He told them his conversation with Lunsford was positive. Lunsford tells me she's now scared her son, a senior at Fleming High School, will face retaliation.
I feel like I have no protection. I feel like nobody's listening to what actually is going on here.
The report also states Clay County School Board member Betsy Condon told a detective that Addison yelled at her for giving them a statement. She quoted Addison about calling the whole investigation fake news. Reporting in Clay County, Bethany Anderson, First Coast News, on your side.